Hello everyone, welcome. I'm Eric from scorecontracts.com, and the reason I'm making this video today is that I took a look at my YouTube channel and I said to myself, what can I do to improve the quality of my content? And in looking at my content, what I realized was I made a bunch of videos that talked about very specific things that only people who were familiar with doing business with the government understood the vocabulary, the acronyms, the lingo, the word choice. And so people who had never seen this stuff before were very unfamiliar with it. So what I decided to do today was make a video where I actually start connecting the dots, okay? I want to try and simplify it as much as possible for people who have never heard about working in the federal marketplace, okay? If you've never heard the vocabulary words or the acronyms, this video is for you. My objective is to go ahead and break it down into very simple steps, easy components to where I can start connecting the dots on my other videos. Because I do have good quality content out there. I've got great videos, but if you're not familiar with how to put the pieces of the puzzle together, then they're just basically puzzle pieces scattered out. So what I'm gonna do is give you this video is the box that shows you what the picture is supposed to look like. So then, now you have the pieces that I've already created the puzzle, and you can put those pieces together based on the image of the box, okay? And then make the complete puzzle, all right? And that's the objective I have in today's video. Let's go ahead and start. Let's talk about something that is one of my belief systems in terms of working with the government. First of all, the video is to teach people how to become a prime contractor, okay? Now, a prime contractor, for those who don't know what the word means, is you have the government agency, I would say Department of Energy, and then you have your company has the direct contract between the Department of Energy and your company XYZ LLC, okay? That's considered a prime contractor. A subcontractor is Department of Energy, XYZ LLC, and then your company has the contract with XYZ, who then has the contract with the Department of Energy, okay? That's a subcontractor. Now, a lot of people want to know how to become prime contractors and get the direct government contracts. And that's fine, and that's what we're gonna talk about in today's video. I don't believe that that's the approach that's appropriate for the majority of you guys out there, because a lot of you who are inexperienced or just getting started in business or have a small business who's wanting to work or who needs capital or revenue or some other criteria may not be ready, maybe not a suitable fit to become a prime contractor. So for that reason, I'm working on creating programs and courses in terms of teaching people how to get government contracts immediately through means of becoming a subcontractor for people who are winning primes. And in my personal opinion, that's the quickest and the fastest route to obtaining government contracts is via being a subcontractor. But we're not going to talk about that today in today's video. We're going to focus on primarily what does it take to become a prime contractor and start connecting those puzzle pieces. So let me go ahead. I like visual illustrations, so I brought some cups out and to go ahead and display visually the context of my talk today. So let's look at the first thing. So we're talking about fundamentals here. So when we're looking at the fundamentals of becoming a prime contractor, okay, the first thing you need to know is what is your NAICS code, okay? And that's pronounced NAICS code, okay? Now, that code distinguishes the services and or products that your business would like to provide to that specific agency, okay? There's a link in my show notes on the videos on what is a NAICS code and how to find your NAICS code. So we're not going to talk about it. Okay, so fundamental number one, we're talking about NAICS code. The second thing we're looking at is DUNS number, okay? The DUNS number is similar to your EIN number, your tax ID number that's assigned to your business after you've set up your corporation. Then they give you what's called an EIN number. Well, in the government marketplace, that number transitions to a DUNS number. A DUNS number is free to obtain. You can go on the Dun & Bradstreet website, and I have a video on what's a DUNS number. So again, we're not going to focus on that. Just know NAICS code, DUNS number. Okay. Third fundamental. sam.gov, okay? So sam.gov is the website where all particular companies that are doing business with the government, even if you're talking about Boeing and SpaceX, anyone out there who's doing business with the government, Lockheed Martin, you name it, General Electric, any of the big guys, they're registered in sam.gov. You cannot get a government contract as a prime if you are not registered in sam.gov. So you've got DUNS number, NACS, sam.gov, okay, after you get those two, you go to SAM and register. And then last but not least on the fundamentals is step number 3 in my 3-part series, Dynamic Small Business Search, SBA Central. This is part of the sam.gov website, but when you close out your profile is where you go in and you set yourself up in the Dynamic Small Business Search, DSBS, okay? And again, I have a video on that. So as a recap, 4 components of the fundamentals are NACS code, DUNS number, sam.gov, DSBS, all right? So everyone clear on that? And we're focusing on becoming a prime contractor. If you want to be a subcontractor, you don't actually need any of this stuff. None of it, okay? So, but for all those people who are interested in becoming a prime contractor, these are the 4 basic fundamentals that you have to do, okay? Now that we've got the fundamentals in place, we've got to put together what I call basic building blocks. Professional email address, all right? I know that this seems like a very novice concept, but we don't need people out there with, Casey and JoJo at gmail.com. We need people with professional email addresses. So in fact, when you get set up your company, your corporation, it should say your name, for example, at LLC, corporation, whatever it is. If it's at, such and such painting.com, all right? Such and such hairstyle.com, all right? So we want to get your professional email address. Next thing is website. Websites are so inexpensive to create that it doesn't make sense if you don't have a website. Again, we're talking about prime contractors, all right? Now, third thing is corporate identity, all right? Corporate identity, we're talking about your marketing materials. What do they look like? Your business cards, any brochures, things like that. Corporate identity is your logo, something that when someone sees it, it sticks out that is your brand and who you are, okay? And then the fourth thing is, it's actually what's called a capability statement. Now, I do have a video on capability statement, but really quickly, what a capability statement is, it's very similar to a resume, okay? But it's more of a business resume, and it's formatted in a certain format that has information that agencies look for when talking to you. So when you're going to go around and you start talking to small business agencies, small business specialists, they're going to ask you for your capability statement, okay? So go in, watch the video on capability statement. So in the last video, we just covered fundamentals and basic building blocks. Coming up, level 1 and level 2, we're going to talk about what it means to actually do business with the government. What does that look like? What does it take? What do you have to have? Putting a team in place. What are some of the requirements? Understanding small business programs. We're going to jump into that on the next video coming up. But I hope you enjoyed that last video on fundamentals and basic building blocks. Again, I was trying to give you a picture of the puzzle so we can start putting some of those pieces together. I tried to go over it really slow and concise. I hope I did a good job. If you like what you see, make sure to subscribe. We're trying to build up our subscribership, and so that way we can get people all the help that they need, get them the answers they want. If you'd like to hear me go over on Fridays, maybe do a live YouTube where we can call in and ask questions, please leave your comments below. Let me know if that's something you're interested in. I'm thinking about really considering doing a live video chat on Fridays on YouTube and our Facebook where I'm answering any and all your questions on government contracts. So please leave your comments, leave your feedback. I look forward to seeing you soon. Thanks. I'll talk to you later.